Chef Chris Kajioka has worked at some of the best restaurants in the world, such as Per Se in New York. Most recently, he was a chef at Vintage Cave, which was billed at the time as one of the most expensive restaurants in the world. Vintage Cave is in Hawaii, but it really wasn't created for the locals that live here. Now, Chef Chris is trying to take the high-end dining technique back to his roots. He's opening Senia with chef partner Anthony Rush to cook for his friends and family on Oahu. It is one of the most highly anticipated restaurants of the year and something that could only come together this way here.
This is it.
Can't believe it. Right? It's almost a unicorn, bro.
I know.
It's crazy to come from Vintage Cave to coming back into a humble spot like this in Chinatown. And I remember when I had that first meal at Vintage.
Yeah.
And I was wearing skinny jeans. Yeah, I'm wearing snakeskin Vans that I just picked up and a Stussy beanie.
Yeah. And I remember your face. You walked in. You're like, oh.
Yeah, this was me trying to fit in. I like take my beanie off and like handing it to Janice, and like seeing the crystal chandeliers, priceless Picassos.
Yeah.
But you killed it, you know? It was like nothing like anybody had seen here in Hawaii.
I think everyone from Hawaii wants to prove themselves, I guess, right? We feel like we're the little brother to like San Francisco and New York, right? You know, so I spent 4 years going to school in New York, and then after that I moved to San Francisco. Yeah, I worked in San Francisco for a while with my mentor, Ron Siegel, and Tom Skeller. And I kind of went back and forth to New York and San Francisco twice for the past 10 years. At Vintage, we cook for the 1% of the 1%, but if your friends can't come to eat, then what's the point, right? Or if your family can't come to eat, what's the point? So it's like, you know, I want to make delicious food. I want you to come enjoy it every night of the week instead of being the birthday place or the special place.
And here you are in the middle of Chinatown making a neighborhood restaurant.
Yeah.
What's your family? Did your grandparents come from Japan or?
No, I'm like fourth generation. So we're Japanese, but we're from here for sure. To me, my childhood is meatloaf and big spaghetti, but it's nothing fancy, right? It's like noodles, stuff that everybody in Hawaii eats. Obviously my food has a lot of Japanese influence, French-based. The buzzword for everybody is modern American or new American, which kind of, you know, it's a blanket. It's a lot of different things, a lot of different cultures. Like I love those North African spices, but I love the simplicity, umami of Japanese food. It's good to be back. For a long time, I didn't know if I ever would come back.
Right.
But there's no other place that I would raise my son than here, right? I think the older you get, the more proud you are to be where you're from. Hawaii, for me, is always having family and friends around. You know, the best memories are always potlucks, you know, where everybody brings everything. So, you know, the concept for this restaurant and how me and Anthony love to eat when we go out, you have a chopstick, you have a share plate, and then you have 20 different plates, right?
Yeah.
So that's the idea here. I mean, it's in the end, if you're not, you know, sharing food and having fun, why are you eating?
Yeah.
Why are you eating out?
Nah,
right?
and that's how I love that. That's part of our food culture here in Hawaii. We don't know how to eat alone, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. We're gonna have a chef's tasting menu at the counter. That's kind of allowing us to be creative, kind of showing our background. If you buy, you know, the best piece of beef, how creative can you really be?
Right.
Right? If you buy a lesser cut, you know, let's see what you got. This restaurant it's not fussy at all. Just because we present something nice, it's on a nice plate, doesn't need to be more expensive. We want everyone to feel like they can just come.
Just real, more reality.
Yeah, more reality, and just, you know, this is my dream. You know,
there you go.
That was somebody else's dream that I was helping execute, and everybody can come eat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just 1%.
Yeah, right. Must be cool to open up a restaurant with your friend, man. Like to have Anthony come out here.
You know, he was actually my boss at Per Se. He was my sous chef. I always thought he was the best person I've cooked with. Literally through a text message, he was like, "I'll come be your komi," and I'm like, Ha, ha, ha. He's like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, what? You know? So I was like,
Score.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
shoot.
And yeah, you're cooking with one of your best friends, somebody who you have the utmost respect for. I have no idea how I could do this without them.
Man, I know that you come from a pedigree of restaurants. When did you start cooking?
Professionally, when I was 16, but I had an interest since what I remember, since the age of 7. My mom always cooked. There was one time they had a dinner party, and just the sense of excitement in the atmosphere that night of doing extra special food, I think that's where it all started really, because I saw the reaction that good food did to people. It made people happy. That's what it's all about for me, is making people happy, and that's what we're trying to create here at Senia. It's everyday, approachable, casual dining to make people happy, you know.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Congratulations to Senia.
This one is called Kutiu, which is like Cambodian and Chinese influence. And it's like Vietnamese sai mein broth.